Robert Mitchum was one of the great icons of American cinema. Though he passed away in 1997, he's still remembered as one of our greatest actors. But despite his incredible success, he wasn't the most disciplined person. His childhood antics carried into his adulthood, and he eventually developed a reputation for being a big drinker. Join Facts First to learn about Robert Mitchum's life and career and how he got into huge trouble with his booze habits. Robert Charles Derman Mitchum was born August 6, 1917 in Bridgeport, Connecticut. He grew up Methodist and his family had ancestry from England, Scotland, Ireland, and Norway. His father was a native-born American of British ancestry, while his mother was an immigrant from Norway. His father died when Robert was still young, and his mother eventually remarried a Royal Naval Reserve officer named Hugh Cunningham Morris, also known as the Major. As a child, young Robert often got into trouble and soon developed a reputation for being a prankster, a misfit, and a troublemaker. At age 14, he ran away from home and traveled the U.S. as a vagabond. He took up odd jobs and was eventually arrested for running away from home. He briefly returned to his family, but it wasn't long until he became a vagabond again. When he was still in his teens, he met Dorothy Spence and married her, and remained married to her until his death. In the mid-30s, when Robert had become a legal adult, he moved to California to spend time with his eldest sister, Julie, who was pursuing an acting career. Watching his sister pursue her dreams made Robert develop a new interest. He was working as a ghostwriter for a famous astrologer before his sister convinced him to join acting classes with her. He spent his early career working behind the scenes on stage productions and also helped write lyrics for Julie's live performances. He took a hiatus from his show business career when his wife Dorothy gave birth to their first child. He was employed as a machine operator for Lockheed Aircraft Corporation and pursued this for several years before returning to showbiz. Robert Mitchum's film and TV career. Robert Mitchum eventually felt burned out from his stressful job as a machine operator. He even faced extreme stress and became temporarily blind due to overworking at the job. He eventually quit and decided to join the film industry again, this time to try his hand at acting. He first started by working as an extra and then trying to land any small role he could to earn some fast cash. He eventually landed a role as Lieutenant Bob Gray in the film 30 Seconds Over Tokyo. While it was a small supporting role, his performance was acclaimed and the director, Mervyn Leroy, enjoyed working with him. This led to more opportunities for Mitchum. He signed a contract with RKO Radio Pictures and worked for several years with them, appearing mostly in Western films. This was the start of his career as a leading man and also helped craft his bad boy image. His early hits were roles in films such as Nevada, The Story of G.I. Joe, West of the Pecos, and Till the End of Time. He had established himself as a great actor in westerns, war films, and high dramas. But he was just getting started. The film noir genre was getting more popular, and his next step was to appear in such films. His big break in the genre was in the film The Locket. In it, Mitchum played an angry ex-lover who wanted to take revenge on his former girlfriend. In 1947, he also appeared in a film called Crossfire, which won him and his fellow cast members much acclaim. It was clear Robert was a star, and there was no turning back. Another of his great roles included his work in The Night of the Hunter. It featured him playing a dark villain looking to murder children. It was very dark for the time and is still regarded as one of the most frightening film performances of all time. Another chilling performance was as Max Cady in Cape Fear. In this role, he plotted to take revenge on a lawyer who put him in prison for several years. Mitchum wasn't afraid to take on negative and villainous roles in addition to being a leading man. This helped establish him as a great actor and a great star. His other stellar performances towards the end of his career included roles in The Yakuza, The Friends of Eddie Coyle, and Dead Man. He also had success on TV. He played Victor Henry in the 1983 series The Winds of War, Patrick Flynn in North and South, Joe Whitaker in A Family for Joe, and Sam Dutton in African Skies. He did win praise for his roles in TV and was loved by his colleagues in both film and TV. Even though he slowed down later in life, he was still wanted by producers and directors alike. He narrated the now classic Western film Tombstone. He also had a cameo appearance in the remake of Cape Fear directed by Martin Scorsese. His final starring role was in a 1995 Norwegian film called Pakten. This episode is brought to you by Munk Pack. Munk Pack offers low-sugar, keto-friendly bars that are plant-based, gluten-free, and non-GMO. Munk Pack Keto Granola Bars and Nut and Seed Bars contain 1 gram of sugar or less, 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, and each bar contains 150 calories or less. If you're trying to cut back on your carbs, these bars are a perfect snack. My favorite flavor is the dark chocolate cocoa. It is soft, chewy, and delicious. I'm always on the go, and these bars are perfect for a quick snack that I don't have to feel guilty about because they're keto-friendly, gluten-free, plant-based, and non-GMO, with no sugar alcohols, soy, or artificial colors. Munk Pack is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. Get 20% off your first purchase of any Munk Pack product by visiting monkpack.com and entering our code FAXVERSE at checkout, or just simply click the link in the description down below to get 20% off. Robert Mitchum got into huge trouble with his booze habits. While Mitchum was one of our greatest actors, he often felt stressed with his fame. He was known not to take it too seriously and often was a nightmare for interviewers, with the possible exception of being friendly with Dick Cavett and Michael Parkinson. One of the things that plagued much of his life was his love for alcohol, particularly whiskey. He got into huge trouble with his booze habits. On the set of the film The Ambassador, he was often drunk on set and even when cameras were rolling. It caused him to clash with the cast and crew, especially co-star Rock Hudson. This often caused the production to continue getting delayed, and it was a miracle the film was eventually made. It's also incredible that Mitchum managed to continue with his career until he passed away, with his final credit in the film James Dean, Race with Destiny, released in 1997, the year he passed away. Robert Mitchum's later life. Robert Mitchum died July 1, 1997 in Santa Barbara at age 79. He's remembered as one of the most iconic actors of his generation. In addition to his extensive career in film and television, he also had a brief career as a calypso singer. He was known to be reticent when it came to discussing his life and career, and often didn't take being a celebrity seriously. While his alcoholism and intimidating personality were often discussed during his life, he was still remembered as a great actor first. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite role from Robert Mitchum? Let us know in the comment section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to FAXVERSE if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.